Pretty sure I spelt that right. Gonna look into that later. Probably put up an annotation if necessary. But that's supposed to say blatantly honest. Never said I was a good speller. This is Sussing It Out, Chapter 15. That many. This episode is going to be my first in my blatantly honest reviews. So I am going to give you a complete now, blatantly honest review of the PlayStation 3 video game, The Last of Us. There you go. You play as both Joel, that dude right there, he's kind of old, like me, and his companion, who is a 14-year-old girl named Ellie, as they cross what is left of America after a zombie-like virus outbreak. So, this is the Fortress of Nerditude, as you're well aware. That is the Joker face. He gets angry if I don't mention him. And we are ready to do this. Now, you remember a couple weeks back, or a couple days back, I suppose, I gave you a somewhat review of The Last of Us if I had just started playing. A little repetitive, so on and so forth, but not nearly that bad of a game. In fact, a very good game. My favorite part of the game actually became watching my wife watch me play this game. She got more into the story than I really got myself. It was more interesting to watch her watch the game as I played it. So when we got to the end, which was about 14 hours in gameplay-wise, I checked the code after it was over, we got to the end, we got to the final couple of cutscenes that wrapped up the game. Once the final cutscene aired, her response was, "That was it?" My response was, "That was it." This was a game that was full of really, painfully honest cutscenes, really good voice acting, really good writing, really good script. The story of these two characters and how they got from A to Z is really phenomenal, and what's going on in the environment. It is a zombie story. Don't kid yourself just because they're called the Infected and they are mushroom heads and things like that, based upon this one virus that I can't remember the name of, but I know it attacks ants and creates mushroom ant heads and makes the ants that they attack go and do their bidding, quite literally making zombies out of them. It applies that to human behavior, or human physiology, I guess would be a better way to describe that. And then it's, life without rules. What would humanity do knowing that there was no police or, no repercussions? Kill or be killed, rulers of the jungle, things like that. And that all gets a bit heavy-handed, to be honest. I get it. After about the third or fourth non-moral change that you have to decide, how am I going to do this? What am I going to do there? So on and so forth. It does tend to get a little bit, okay, I get it. Yes, things are terrible. If you watch the movie The Road, or read the book The Road, you probably get the same sense of general despair and nothing is going to succeed and everything is going to be misery and suffering. I get it. I get it. Now that said, even though I have heard this story before quite a few times, when you think about it, there's a lot of similarities between this story and The Walking Dead, for instance. It doesn't mean that it's a bad game or that it's a bad story. It just means that maybe I read a lot more zombie stuff than the average bear. Gameplay-wise, the game mechanics worked really well. I didn't have a lot of fumbling around. There's a couple of games that I've played in the past that I've really liked, but the aiming mechanic of Dead Rising, for instance, was horrific. It's a zombie game, and it takes forever to figure out how to aim your little pea shooter and kill a zombie. You actually are a lot better off to just run up and hit him in the head with something. I also liked the fact that you can improve weapons in this game, but this was another one of these games where if you don't spend every waking moment of your life playing it, you're going to miss storyline, you're going to miss plot, you're going to miss the ability to build up your character even better. By the end of the game, I had so many still waiting to be filled slots. I don't think I ever got to the point where my character could actually heal really fast, or I never really got to the point where my shooting was easier, or my targeting was simpler. And things like that kind of bother me about games. I had the same problem with Deus Ex Human Revolution, where in the end you just didn't have, you could either spend all of your life perfecting this game, or you could beat the game in 15 to 20 hours and move on with your existence. And for some players out there, you know, without getting that 100% completion, their OCD or their, you know, whatever they have that may be an issue acts up and they can't do anything until the game is 100%, it's got to be done. So here's my blatantly honest review, is that it's a good game. And the ending is one of the most human endings I've ever seen in my life. The last 5 minutes of the game, which, to be quite honest, is essentially an extended cutscene. Yes, you do get to recontrol one of the characters, but only briefly and for absolutely no reason, other than to advance the storyline by pretending that you're still a part of it and that the game hasn't just devolved into just one long cutscene, which I'm not against. I love long cutscenes. I actually love the idea of playing a movie rather than playing a video game. But, again, I'm a terrible gamer. The final sequence offers a lot of really honest human reactions, where the characters that are left, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but the characters that are left have to basically accept the reality that they've crafted for themselves over the entire game. Now, I'm not sure if I got the right ending, the bad ending, the middle ending, the last ending, the only ending. I don't know. I'm not going to play the game again because I don't care that much. I got an ending. I'm happy with it. I'm going to move on. But I can tell you that the voice actors, the writing, the scripting, all of these things came together to create what I felt was a very honest, very real ending. I don't know if you could call it a happy ending. I don't know if you could call it a bad ending or a mean or an evil ending or anything like that. I just think it was a real ending. And in a video game that dealt with crazy mushroom zombies, to have an ending that was honest and genuine, I think is a really, really heavy step forward. We put a lot of emphasis in the they all lived happily ever after, or in the complete opposite of that, where everyone dies. And this is a game that is a bit ambiguous, but not ambiguously ending. It's just the ending, the moral may be ambiguous, and I think that's fantastic. I think that it shows that the creators of this game, who are Naughty Dog, it's them there, Naughty Dog, there you go. They are the same people who I'm fairly sure created the Uncharted series, which I love, but even the Uncharted series, the endings are all very, yay, everyone is winning and happiness and love. This is, well, you know, this is probably what would happen. And I can't think of a better way to start my blatantly honest reviews than with a game that is blatantly honest. You don't have to like the ending, but you do have to accept that that is probably the most realistic outcome for a game featuring mushroom zombies. Anyway, that has been Sussing It Out, Chapter 15? Chapter 15. Yesterday we had a little bit of flub where I marked it as Chapter 13, though it was Chapter 14, so this is Chapter 15. I had not intended on doing a Sussing It Out today, but I finished Last of Us last night just about the time that Chapter 14 posted on the interwebs, so I figured now was as good a time as any. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your likes, for your follows, for your subscribers, for telling other people about it. Things are going well for Sussing It Out, so expect more. Tomorrow is Bacon Day. Not really sure how we're going to handle that exactly, but we'll take video. We'll see what happens. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.